What's up guys, I'm Sean. Today's video I'm going to show you how to change these struts on your 2008 Toyota Camry V6. This is the only special tool that you need, spring compressors. You can rent these from AutoZone or you can purchase these from Sears or online. So this is a Toyota Camry and they are known to have leaking struts. And we're going with OE replacement style struts made by KYB. First thing we're going to do is loosen these 14mm bolts. Don't remove them, just loosen them for now. So we're going to pull off this clip, 22mm nut. Then we're going to move this 17mm nut that holds the sway bar in link. Remove the brake hose with a 12mm socket. You can use a hammer and screwdriver to knock these bolts out, but you can also kind of move the wheel hub to loosen it. 2 bolts in the bottom are out. So now all we have to do is completely remove these 3 14mm nuts and the whole assembly is gonna drop out. Now just wiggle out the whole shock assembly. So here's the front passenger side strut. You can see how it leaked over time. It's pretty much done. And here's the new KYB strut. So we're gonna make sure that it says right there. And it lines up the same, so make sure you grab the correct side strut. And you want to line up this strut to this section, just like the factory one. And the factory actually has a yellow dot right there that points towards the engine. The spring compressor basically holds down the spring and relieves the tension from this top nut. Without the spring compressor, this top nut is under a lot of pressure and will shoot out and be very dangerous. So you got to make sure you compress the spring before you try to tackle and remove this top nut. The spring compressor is also going to help reinstall the spring into the new strut assembly. So the top nut is actually a 19mm nut. So here's the old strut with the spring removed, and we're going to basically take everything off the old strut and put it onto the new one. So take the bottom spring pad from the old strut assembly and then reinstall it. We're going to install the bump stop. So see how the spring sits at the bottom? So if the spring compress, now the shaft is taller than the spring and we could reinstall the top hat assembly. The bottom of the top hat assembly has that little groove right there, and that's where the spring is going to mate up to that groove. So the new KYB strut comes with a new top nut, so we're going to use that. And remember, this yellow dot points towards the engine bay. This right here lines up with that. Make sure you don't hit this with an impact gun, because it's going to basically twist the shaft and destroy your new strut. So you want to hand tighten this. So top nut torqued to 35 foot-pounds, spring compressors removed. Now we're going to reinstall this into the car. Slip this strut assembly underneath into the car and loosely install these bolts. Using a jack, you jack up the hub assembly a little bit, and then you slide in the 2 strut bolts. Reinstall the sway bar in link. So we're going to torque the brake hose to 21 foot-pounds, sway bar in link to 55 foot-pounds, the 2 bolts here to 113 foot-pounds. Reinstall this little plastic clip. Put the wheel back on. Then when you lower the car, then we're going to tighten these 3 bolts to 29 foot-pounds. So the passenger side front is done. You just do the same for the driver's side front. Then after that, we're going to tackle the rears.